So, our next performer, I'm very excited to talk to this man. He was recommended to me by a friend, and I don't know exactly what's gonna happen, but I'm very excited to meet him and see what's going on. And I want you guys to give a big round of applause right now to Phil Camuto.
Yeah.
Yo, thank you
Phil, how's
very
it
much,
going?
Angela. Give it that lady's punk rock. Give it with the head gashes and stuff. That's a real punk rock lady. Getting drunk. That's what punk rockers do, from what I've heard. More a Motley Crue guy, but whatever. My name is Phil Camuto. I'm the owner and proprietor of the Topsfield Grub and Sub, one of the most foremost pizza joints in Topsfield. And pizza has a bit to do with the story tonight, and maybe love, romance, and so many things. But the story starts in a dark alleyway outside of Casey's Keno Parlor in Methuen, Massachusetts. Nick the Fish's stocky frame was walking up to me, and one of the most expensive Beanie Babies in America was strapped to my back with electric tape. I was just praying he didn't search me for a wire. Hey, Philly, how's Rudolph Valentino doing tonight? Nick said. Uh, he know I hate being called Philly because it reminded me of the rudest sports team, Sports City outside of Boston. Um, but anyways, he said, I haven't been watching much Valentino movies because they turned off my cable. That was the smoothest thing I could think of to say to him. It was also true. It was a hard time. So basically, this was a code word because Valentino was the name of the Beanie Baby that was strapped to my back. It's worth about $45,000. Super rare Beanie Baby. That's just nice blue bear. I wasn't too excited about it, but for the collectors will go nuts about it. But so we were kind of being cool about it. He said, "Oh, Valentino, all right." He said, and then Nick the Fish said, "That's really funny, man. I got someone that wants to talk to Valentino." And then he pulled out one of those big hunting knives with a lot of teeth on it. It looked like Russian, something that's big. It probably comes from Russia. And I put on my "oh really" tough guy face. But deep down inside, my heart was going like a jackrabbit. I was having a little heart attack inside. And so I guess you're wondering how we got here. I love it when movies do that and they say, there's like a record screech. So I guess you're wondering how we got here. And I wanted to do that. I'm kind of like Tarantino with storytelling. I mix it up. I changed the timeline. But I want to take you back to a time era. It was the summer of 1996. As Ben was talking about, I was psyched about the Green Day album Insomniac that was around. I'd seen them at the Worcester Centrum previously that fall. And, Mr. Goldberg drove me and Andrew to it. It was a great show. But anyways, I was psyched about a lot of stuff. I was psyched about my summer job. I was psyched about the new Missy Misdemeanor Elliott video that came out where all these trash bags is all blown up. I was blown away. I saw Metallica that summer at Lollapalooza. And I wasn't working at the Grub and Sub by then. I didn't have my own place. I was working at a pizzeria that's called Billy's Back. It's not a guy named Billy. It's not his physical back, but it's like that would be a gross theme for a restaurant. But it was named after a guy named Billy who, lived there. And then he's like, screw this, I'm done with my restaurant. I'm going to Florida. And I guess 4 years later, he just moved back. And the name of the restaurant's Billy's Back. Honestly, I think a lot of people weren't glad he was back. Me especially. That place was really gross. It was not that great. It was a real greasy spoon, but you don't know where the grease came from. Is this axle grease or something? I don't know. But anyways, Friday is a big pizza night. So they always want me on. It's a big pizza night because of couples. It's a very romantic food. Sharing it. It's getting all gooey. Can I say gooey? Should I say gooey? No, probably not. So, it's hard being a single pizza man on a Friday night when you see everyone just having fun. And, out of the midst of the pizza kitchen, there she came. I would be angry for another person to walk into my pizza kitchen except for this auburn-haired chanteuse. Uh, you know, she wandered back into the back of the kitchen because her date had been gone for around 40 minutes and wanted to know if he was hiding out back there looking for extra Parmesan. Uh, I pretended to look, but I knew she was out of luck. You know, that jerk had left. And I felt bad. And I got a few slices out of the case and I said, oh, he isn't here, but I found this stuff that's way better than that. It's pizza. It's better than a guy. And you know, she was sad, but she was trying to smile and kind of get through it and everything. And 2 weeks later, I was at my karaoke bar, friggin' ripping it at a Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas. You know, I'm doing pretty good. I'm leaning into it. I'm doing a kick during the drum stuff. And I saw a female wanderer and admirer coming up with that same auburn hair. It was destiny. And, you know, our courtship was gradual but loving. She would show up to my work with subs from a better place because I freaking hated Billy's back food. It was fucking gross. But she was a fascinating and just really tough little mama. You know what I mean? And she was little. She was about 5'2", but she fought like 6'4". You know, and if anyone was starting stuff, she didn't need me to defend her. And half the time, she was the person starting stuff. So I was more of a negotiator, you know, just getting people's purses back to them and other Jewish that lost after the fight. But, you know, I can't blame her. She's a tough lady. She worked at a muffler place. You know, she was raised in her dad's garage. You know, she was a promoter for a backyard wrestling series. You know what I mean? So she was pretty tough. You know what I mean? She was steeped in toughness, but at the same time, there was like a tenderness to her, especially when I got it's a duality in people, you know. And especially when I got back to a place and I saw that just over 100 really small stuffed animals, you know, with all these little bears and his lions, freaking parrots and crab, all these kooky animals. And the parrot scared me. I'm not gonna lie. And she explained to me that these were the Beanie Babies, the hottest trend, and it was an investment opportunity as well. And she told me about being the head of the Northeast chapter of the Beanie Baby fan club and how many friends and business partners she got out of this. And I had no idea what the hell she was talking about. It was very weird. I gradually learned that these silly stuffed animals with some precious little dumb tags on their ear, they just ruled her life. You know, every room was full of Beanie Babies. Every evening in America Online chat rooms, she's talking on Beanie Babies around the world. She's making these big Beanie Baby deals worth thousands, you know, and like I would buy her some Beanie Babies with my paycheck and she would pretend to be happy, you know, but yeah, this is great. But she wants the big ticket ones, you know, and the deals just got heavier and heavier. And, you know, there was a limited edition tie-dyed Peace Bear that was released at a, you know, Red Sox Oakland game at Fenway. And she spent all of her savings on tickets for her friends to get them and then hopefully flip it for 20 grand. You know what I mean? It was wild. It was like, when you're dealing with someone like that, it's like a stockbroker or a gambling act, you know, you absorb their stress, you know, you absorb their kind of neurosis or addiction. But what is love if not a shared neurosis? Or as the French would say, folie à deux. But going to Beanie Baby Fest at the Days Inn that year just really, that gave me a good idea the level of freaks that are in the scene this lady was dealing with, you know. And the convention center, it looked like a friggin' Port Authority and a YMCA at the same time. You know what I mean? Just a crew, you're like, ooh, I do not know what's going on here. Like, what is the vibe? Are we angry? Are we all messed up? Or is it both? I don't know. You know. But, you know, and of course, at a place like this, I see one of my least favorite fishes and least favorite people, Nick the Fish. You know, we called him that because in high school, like he like smelled bad, and you know, now he's kind of like a pseudo gangster, and you know, he's just got this this mutton chop and goatee combo that just says, I have brass knuckles on me. You know what I mean? You can just, that vibe, you can just take it out of it. And, but he's the type of guy that has aftershave. It kind of smells like burnt hair. You're like, what's going on with this? Where did you get this? Is this from like a former Soviet, whatever, But anyways, and I didn't like the hug that my lady Iona gave him. I forgot to mention the name was Iona. Beautiful name. It's like Greek, I think. It was a Greek tragedy what happened. But it was a Greek tragedy when she hugged him. That was like, I was not a fan of that. But I guess he is a Beanie Babies collector, and he's in the kind of on the scene and stuff like that, But he gave us these cards that just had knee breaker level interest for loans that he would give people. And, when I looked at Iona's eyes, I knew that she was like where this was going, definitely. And it really came home for me when I went back to our place and all my stuff was on the lawn. So I'm kind of like dazed and kind of figuring out what's going on. And then thankfully I saw her stuff on the lawn. So I was like, all right, she's just a deadbeat. So, it's kind of like, I'm not getting kicked out. She's a deadbeat. It's like, yes, God. Yeah. So anyway, she comes home and she's like pulling out her Iggy the Iguana. She's screaming, where's my Iggy the Iguana purse? Where's my Iggy the Iguana purse? And I help her go through all the stuff on the yard. And she rips it out of my hands and out flies Valentino, literally the most expensive Beanie Baby bear in America that she has been talking about all the friggin' time. And I knew she took that loan. I knew she took a loan for at least $35,000 to pull that off. It was just heartbreaking. And, I said, you know what? I just loaded all my stuff in the car. I said, we're going to talk about this in a sec. I was watching a lot of Steven Seagal movies, so I was like, I'm going to solve it. And I just loaded my stuff in the car, and I went to a payphone. This was 1997. There were a ton of those. It was great. You could leave a menacing call whenever you wanted. So I got the business card for Nick the Fish. I called him up and I said, I got Valentino, and she's not giving you any money. You're taking it back, and we're voiding the loan. He says, I got her on the line for this. I said, you're not getting any money. You're taking this back. And he said, meet me at KC's Keno Lounge and bring him. And I said, I'll think about it. But I knew I was going to be there. It's like the only place he was going to be. And, I couldn't even look at Iona. I was just so angry. I just spent the next hour or two just getting my head together. How am I going to deal with this guy? And also just with the electrical tape, just strapping it to my back. Because I didn't want to, you don't want to say, hey, here it is. That any movie you see, if you show, hey, the guy just shoots you. You don't show him that, it's in another place. And it's at my special Beanie Baby fortress. I don't bring it here. Old man, a good man, you do one of those. You look classy. But and then we're right back at the beginning of this friggin' story. So I tried to be classy. I got a friggin' hunting knife pointed at me. And it's kind of at that point where I said, would she do this for me? Would she handle almost being stabbed for something that I was into? I don't know, probably monster trucks or something. Would she get stabbed for that? Probably not. And it was kind of like, and then the second thought, do I want to keep fighting these battles for her? This is just the first one, and I'm already got a friggin' knife pointed at me. So I said, all right, okay, all right, I get your point. I was very much in my stammer mode, but it was almost when Nick the Fish saw it, he was like, oh, he's in stammer mode. I can just relax. He's kind of like cleaning the knife off, putting it back in his little thing. I was like, just the harsh slurp of taking the electric tape and Valentino. He's kind of angry and ruffled with some of it, but he was just happy to have him back. It was another investment. And, that was a hard thing to give up. It was a hard thing to give up a lady like that. I never turned back. I never looked back, and I'm just glad she's out of it. And, I heard in the early, I heard when the Beanie Babies fell like Y2K, she lost a ton of friggin' money, man. She's trying to sell that stuff on eBay now. I wish her the best. I hope Iona's doing well. And that was the story was a theme. The theme was I'm glad I gave up, and it was both the Beanie Baby record and that lady. So thank you so much.
Give it up for Phil
Hey.
Camuto.
Woo!
Phil, I want to tell you, I hear that there is a current rage for stuffed Totoros, and you can get them at Target if you want to work your way back into Iona's heart. Maybe get her out of Springer from jail, whatever you need.
I'm gonna tell my story.
They're big
Yeah, I bought a bunch
collector's
of
items
Funko Pops for her, but she's not into it anymore.
No,
It's not the same. They're all plastic. You know.
May all your Tubbsfield submarines taste great. That's my wish for you.
Thank you so much.
That was incredible. Thank you very much.